I'm not the one who thinks I'm above the law. I'm the one that followed the law. I'm the only one. It's Joe Biden and his corrupt Department of Injustice who think they are above the law. Evidence revealed Joe Biden took a $5 million bribe from Ukraine. Took a $5 million bribe. But the FBI and the Justice Department don't even want to talk about it. They even brought a safecracker. This is a professional safecracker they brought into Mar-a-Lago. And they broke into my safe, and you know what they found? Nothing. There was nothing there.
Yeah, because you left them out in the open.
According to the Presidential Records Act, which was a big deal, I was supposed to negotiate.
There was nothing in the safe. I left it out in the open.
I was doing until Mar-a-Lago. To destroy American democracy.
Did you say I'd like to destroy?
But they will fail, and we will win bigger and better than ever before. Charging a former president of the United States under the Espionage Act of 1917.
Boo.
An act for a crime so heinous that only the death penalty would do, and threatening me with 400 years in prison for possessing my own presidential papers.
I thought it was just 100
about
years.
Every other president has done. Is one of the most outrageous and vicious legal theories ever put forward in an American court of law. The Espionage Act has been used to go after traitors and spies. It has nothing to do with a former president legally keeping his own documents. As president, the law that applies to this case is not the Espionage Act, but very simply the Presidential Records Act, which is not even mentioned in this ridiculous 44-page indictment. Under the Presidential Records Act, which is civil, not criminal, I had every right to have these documents. The crucial legal precedent is laid out in the most important case ever on this subject, known as the Clinton Socks case. You know what that means? After leaving the White House, Bill Clinton kept 79 audio tapes in his sock drawer. They included discussions of U.S. military involvement in Haiti, discussions of U.S. foreign policy, both defense and offense, against Cuba, recordings of President Clinton's conversations with all of the many foreign leaders at the time. Think of that. Sensitive facts about trade negotiations taken from presidential briefings, discussions with the Secretary of State about conflict in Bosnia, and much, much more. Very big stuff. Not only was Bill Clinton never even considered for criminal prosecution based on the tapes he took, but when he was sued for them, he won the case. Judge Amy Berman Jackson's decision states, under the statutory scheme established by the Presidential Records Act, the decision to segregate personal materials from presidential records is made by the president.
But those aren't personal.
The president's term,
those weren't personal.
and in the president's
None of your
sole discretion.
None of your documents were declassified or personal. The ones that they wrote.
Administration, even an opposing one, would consider that to be the end, but not the corrupt Biden administration.
I have no reach in that shirt.
The Sox decision, as it's known, also states, quote, the National Archives and Records Administration, or NARA, does not have the authority to designate material as presidential records. They don't have the authority. NARA does not have the tapes in question, and NARA lacks any right, duty, or means to seize control of them. This is law. The president enjoys unconstrained authority to make decisions regarding the disposal of documents. That's unconstrained to make that decision. Neither the archivist nor Congress has the authority to veto the president's decision. The Presidential Records Act does not confer any
Like Bill
mandatory
Clinton,
or
I
even
suspect, was never on the record being like, "I never declassified these documents. These documents are illegally in my
Under the statute, this
illegally in my
responsibility is
presence.
left solely
Let me show them to
the
you."
President of the United States. Think of that. That's the decision. Think of that. Now, just think of that. In other words, whatever documents the president decides to take with him, he has the right to do so. It's an absolute right. This is the law. And that is something that people have now seen, and it couldn't be more clear. They ought to drop this case immediately because they're destroying the country.
They better drop this case. They gotta drop
This
it.
is why no other president, even those who kept far more documents than I, has ever been even investigated, let alone charged with a crime.
Except for Biden
Because
and
the
Mike
sham
Pence.
indictment put forward by the Biden administration included
And Bill
staged
Clinton.
photographs of boxes at Mar-a-Lago. Many people have
Actually,
asked me
many
why.
presidents have had documents be
these
retrieved by
boxes. Why
NARA.
did you want them?
Like pretty commonplace.
The answer, in addition to having every right under the Presidential Records Act, is that these boxes were containing all types of personal belongings, many, many things, shirts and shoes and everything.
Live fact checking is pretty
As
funny.
can be seen in the picture where someone, not me, I wonder who it might have been, dumped one of the very neatly arranged boxes all over the floor.
Those boxes were the most
They
neatly
were full of
arranged.
newspapers, press clippings.
They were
thousands
so
of
neat
pictures,
in the
thousands and
bathroom.
Thousands of White House pictures. The White House photographers, some are with us today. They took so many pictures, and we saved all of them, and they were in those boxes. Clothing, memorabilia, and much, much more. I hadn't had a chance to go through
Oh my
all the
God!
boxes.
Old
It's a
people love
long
mementos. Is that what is that his line of attack? It's mementos,
I was
folks.
prepared to do, but I have a very busy life. I've had a very busy life. They make it more busy because you're always fighting. And under the Sox decision, there seemed to be no rush. I wasn't in a rush because that decision was a law. The other
Oh my
picture
God.
that was so vile,
His
you
argument
remember
is,
that
I was
one?
gonna get
Angry
around
and
to it.
corrupt was the photo staged by the FBI.
This is so
And those that
good.
raided Mar-a-Lago, they were putting documents all over the floor. Remember that famous picture? All over, said confidential, said presidential, said all sorts of things. And it was supposed to be there like...
He said he was getting
was that
around
way
to
when
it,
they
but he
raided?
couldn't because he
Wasn't
was
that
too
way? They put
busy.
them there, took the picture and released it illegally
Wait,
to the press.
this is also really stupid
They
because
took
it's
my
like
medical records, my passport,
literally an
my birth
admission of
certificate.
crime. It's a further
and
admission of the
apologized.
crimes.
They even brought a safecracker. This is a professional safecracker they brought into Mar-a-Lago. And they broke into my safe, and you know what they found? Nothing. There was nothing there.
Yeah, because you left them out
Nothing
in the
there.
open.
According to the Presidential Records Act, which was a big deal, I was supposed to negotiate.
There was nothing
with
in the
NARA,
safe. I
which is
left it out in the
exactly what I was
open.
doing until Mar-a-Lago was raided by gun-toting FBI agents. I have security tapes of it. I gave them security tapes of everything. In a flagrant violation of the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution, which protects the right against
It absolutely was not a
unreasonable
flagrant
search
violation.
and seizure.
It was the execution of a search warrant that a Trump-appointed judge
And Sebastian, you
delivered.
covered very well, I must say. Very well. I'm not the one who thinks I'm above the law. I'm the one that followed the law. I'm the only one. It's Joe Biden and his corrupt Department of Injustice who think they are above the law. Never before have the two standards of justice in our country been more starkly revealed. Joe Biden had troves of classified documents from his time as vice president and even as a senator, which was completely and totally illegal. In fact, other senators heard about it. Dick Durbin heard about it. You have to see his response. There's no way that's totally illegal.
Robert Hur, a
Dick
Trump
was a
appointee, was
senator,
tapped by
out of his
Attorney
fifth.
General Merrick Garland earlier this year to
They were
investigate
shocked
whether
when they
Biden
found
mishandled
out.
classified documents.
They actually thought it was impossible to do. Biden sent 1,850 boxes to the University of Delaware, making the search very, very difficult for anybody. And he refuses to give them up. and he refuses to let people even look at them.
That's
and then
not
they say
true.
how he's behaving so nicely. Many of Biden's
That's
classified
literally
documents
just not.
were in
He's just saying.
Chinatown.
He's just straight up saying things he did, and he's claiming Biden
family
did
received
it.
so much money from China. I wonder how many times
What the fuck?
friends of ours from China reviewed those documents. Chinatown, D.C. Others were unsecured at his so-called Penn Biden Center in Washington, which paid Biden approximately $1 million a year. The money supposedly coming from China, and still other classified documents were strewn all over his garage floor, where his now famous Corvette is stored. He's so proud of that car. There was no security, and the door was left open most of the time. It was open. All of those classified documents, all of
I want to point something out here, but none of what he's saying is a defense for the current ongoing criminal investigation into Donald Trump. Just
Joe
want to
Biden,
point
as
that
Vice
out.
President, had no authority to
It's also
declassify and
untrue,
no right
but
to possess
even if it was
documents.
true,
He had
it
no
still
right.
would not matter
Instead
in
of
his
falling
current
under
court
the
case.
Presidential Records Act, Biden's actions fell under a much stricter Federal Records Act, which has very, very tough criminal penalties. Yet nothing happens to Crooked Joe. Nothing happened. Have you heard anything about the big search for his documents? No, only me. Most and famously of all, Hillary Clinton set up an illegal private server in her basement. You never heard this story.
The only reason why it was not a big deal for Biden and Mike Pence was because they cooperated with the authorities. That's it. That's it. Rainey draws a lot. Thank you for the 50 get the subs. Allowing 50 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. There's a 3-minute ad break coming for you now, unless you subscribe.
To leak. It
Or
leaked
get gifted
into
a sub.
Anthony Weiner's computer. Remember Anthony Weiner? Into his computer. You don't want to be on his computer. And all of it was illegal because thankfully she was never president. She didn't have the powers to declassify.
Wait, what? Wait, that makes no sense.
Thank you.
Isn't that what you
She didn't
claim
have
you
the
did,
powers
and
to
that's why it's
declassify.
valid?
It's a big difference, and neither did Joe. You know, Joe didn't have. Do you mind? Have a drink. It's a little bit cooler than it was, but it's pretty hot out here. Thank you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Great birthday.
Yeah, they did this on his birthday. He's a big birthday boy. They did it on my birthday.
Nice birthday, isn't it?
Dude, that's awesome. I wonder if he's allowed to say any of this, by the way. I feel like
Nice
he's not
birthday.
allowed to say this.
Wonderful birthday.
I guess he's not talking to any of the
They were
witnesses.
saying happy birthday. I was with Eric and Laura, the kids. Happy birthday, Grandpa. Happy. And I said, oh, great. I just got charged with, they want 400 years approximately. If you add them all up, a fake 400 years. Oh, thank you, darling. That's so nice. It's a wonderful birthday. Oh, we're going to make it into the greatest birthday of all. We'll make it into the greatest of all. When caught, Hillary then deleted and acid washed. Nobody does that because of the expense, but it's pretty conclusive. 33,000 emails in defiance of a congressional subpoena already launched. The subpoena was there, and she decided to delete, acid wash, and then smash and destroy her cell phones with a hammer. And then they say, I participated in obstruction? Now think of it. That's called obstruction. There's never been obstruction as grave as that. She did this in the face of everything, and yet
That's a big L for Trump.
Nobody did
Again,
anything
Hillary got
about
away
it.
with it, but you couldn't. L
the
nerd.
FBI and the DOJ protected her, did not issue subpoenas, did not use a grand jury, did not execute search warrants, and then the corrupt head of the FBI, James Comey, declared no reasonable prosecutor would bring a case. Can you believe it?
That
was
man
just-
literally is responsible for Donald Trump being president. Talk about a fucking fake
And
friend.
she didn't get indicted. Joe Biden broke the law, and in many other ways we're finding out, and so far has not gotten indicted. I did everything right and they indicted me. But you know, we're serving as a great example. In the case of Bill Clinton's national security advisor, remember that? Sandy Berger. He was caught stealing classified documents from the National Archives, very big ones, very important ones, by stuffing them in his pants. That's pretty. And putting them also in his socks. And he destroyed them and cut the tape with scissors, cut them all up. What Berger did was highly illegal, but he was given nothing, no jail time, nothing happened. There are countless other examples. Bill Clinton, who I happen to like, hard to believe, right? Before I did this, I was actually quite friendly with him. Nice guy. They should have used him a little bit more as an advisor on the 2016 election. He said, you know, you better get to Wisconsin, you're going to lose. No, we're not. You better get to Michigan, you're going to lose. No, we're not. They did. Bill Clinton lost the nuclear codes, and absolutely nothing was done about it. He lost the nuclear codes. The George W. Bush White House lost 22 million emails, a record. NARA cannot assure complete transfer of any of the Bush records. A document shredding truck was spotted on the way to Dick Cheney's house. Can you imagine? Hillary Clinton took hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of furniture, china, flatware, rugs, and more from the White House, and she wasn't prosecuted. How about that one? She took the furniture and the china. How about if Trump did that? You think Trump would have a little problem? The horrific violations of my rights by crooked Joe Biden's weaponized Department of Injustice are unthinkable. It's unthinkable what's happened. So bad for our country. Democrats all, they lawlessly pierced my attorney-client privilege with lawyers. What they did to lawyers, what they have done to our lawyers, all of our lawyers, they've done things that were absolutely horrible and unthinkable. The leaking has been unbelievable and highly illegal. They leak. We've learned more from the Washington Post, New York Times, about the DOJ's boxes hoax. It's a boxes hoax. Than from prosecutors themselves. We want to read about it. You pick up the Washington Post, which is not doing well, or you pick up the New York Times.
He's always just
now because of these things. You know,
he has to jab at everyone.
They'll end up dying.
What does that have to do with anything?
We don't want to learn from the Times. We don't want to learn from leaks. We want to learn.
This is old school Trump. He's kind of back.
It's like a leaking sieve in
like
Washington. But we learned
the
nothing
Bill Clinton
about the Biden
mention
bribery scheme or special counsel Robert Hur's investigation. Robert Hur is doing the Biden investigation. He's a very respected, very nice person. Very nice person. Mine's not such a nice person. Mine's a deranged lunatic, which are many times the magnitude of ours in both number and severity. That's the prosecutor that they gave. He has found nothing. He totally exonerated Mike Pence. I'm happy about that. Mike did nothing wrong, but he happened to have classified documents in his house. But they exonerated him, and Biden is a different story. I mean, so much. You have to really think about what I said. As a senator, he took all of those documents. It's unprecedented. The prosecutor in the case, I will call it our case, is a thug. I've named him Deranged Jack Smith. I wonder what his
That's
name
not even
used to
that
be.
good.
Jack Smith. It sounds so innocent, doesn't it? Jack Smith. What's his name? Jack Smith. He's a very nice man. He's a behind-the-scenes guy, but his record is absolutely atrocious. He does political hit jobs. He's been known to
John Edwards
viciously arrest a certain governor. You know the governor, Bob McDonnell of Virginia, and absolutely ruined his life and the life of his family. All these wonderful family members, I knew them, only to have the case overturned 8-0 by the Supreme Court. He destroyed that man and he destroyed that family.
Barbie
By the
McDonald.
way, I will tell you, I'm here and I love you all, and we can take it.
Wacky Jackie. Ooh, that's better.
But what these thugs have done to my family is a disgrace. I will tell you that. And I say it to all of the fake
Wacky
news,
Jackie,
there's a lot of
folks.
it
That's
back
what I call them.
What they did to my family, and that young man right there, he's answered more subpoenas than any human being in the history of the world. And you know what? They have nothing after all of those subpoenas. Literally thousands of them. Congress, fake counsels, Mueller report, all of this. All he did is answer subpoenas all the time. At least he's become very experienced at that. Congratulations. But Eric is fantastic, and what he and Don and Ivanka and the whole group, that's what they've gone through, and these are serious people. These are serious people, but what he's done to my family, what they have done to my family is horrible. He also tried to railroad John Edwards on a completely bogus legal theory that didn't hold up in court. It's no wonder this raging lunatic was shipped off to The Hague to prosecute war criminals using globalist tribunals, not beholden to the Constitution or the rule of law. Two things
what?
Jack Smith clearly disdains. You take a look at this guy. He looks
Wait,
like a
why is
thug.
he glazing him?
But then I watched him make a speech the other day, and he was trembling because it wasn't his territory. He feels much safer in the inner sanctums of the Department of Injustice, where he can be in his room and scream at people. He's a raging
what's he
and
saying about
uncontrolled Trump hater.
prosecuting war
as is
criminals?
his
Like, I
wife,
don't get
who
it.
Also happened to be the producer of that Michelle Obama puff piece.
Oh, he's coming after his wife.
Total puff piece.
True.
This is the
Jack
guy
Smith,
I've got.
his wife, very bad,
Don't
folks. We
forget
found
this
out. Remember, we did
persecution is
Oppo
being
research
done
for
by
Trump.
The same weaponized agencies that for 7
Also
years
lives
have
in the Netherlands. He could say Jack Smith is gay. Why does he live in the Netherlands? Everyone knows. What do you like biking?
trying to destabilize a foreign
Why don't you live in
country.
America?
From the Russia hoax to the no collusion Mueller witch hunt to impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, the 51 lying intelligence offers. How about them? They said it's Russia disinformation, and they knew it wasn't, which made about, according to some of the great pollsters that
His
are right
wife
here,
did make a documentary
made
on
from
Michelle
anywhere from
Obama.
a
Yes,
10 to
this is true.
17
We looked
point
it up
difference.
the other
Yet
day.
We still got more votes than any sitting president.
His wife
in
is a
history in the second
documentarian.
election.
And he lives in the Netherlands.
We actually did much better in the second election than
Another
we did
weird
in the first
thing.
election. The fake dossier paid for by the Democrats. How about the fake dossier? Remember that one? You think that was easy to go home and say, "Hello, darling, how are you?" when they read about that? It wasn't easy at all. Spying on my campaign. We caught them spying on my campaign. The FBI, Twitter
Yeah,
files,
remember
and
when
so
that was
much
investigated
more.
and nothing happened?
It's all been a battle of disinformation, one thing after the other, and all to protect the radical left misfits. It's also no coincidence that these charges against me came down the very same day. Evidence revealed Joe Biden took a $5 million bribe from Ukraine. Took a $5 million bribe. But the FBI and the Justice Department don't even want to talk about it. They showed something on television tonight. It had 0 time on the 3 major networks, 0. But
Matt
my
Wallace?
impeachment
What the
had
fuck is that? No.
almost all the time. I think I had 351 minutes. They had no minutes. Okay? I think a lot of people are going to vote. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to vote. I will tell you, I just left Miami, and I've never seen love in the streets like that. I've never seen it. We've seen a lot of love. I've never seen love like that because they know what we all go through. They know what we've gone through, and they see it, and they're smart. And, you know, many of those people coming from Cuba, Venezuela, other countries, they've seen this happening to their countries. I used to say that the United States, if it keeps going this way, it's going to be Venezuela on steroids. And now we're buying oil from Venezuela. Can you believe it? We have more liquid gold under our feet than any other nation, but we're buying tar from Venezuela, and we're refining it in Houston, the dirtiest, worst oil probably anywhere in the world, and we're refining it. So you can imagine what's going up in the air, and our beautiful stuff we're not taking out of the ground and making a lot of money and paying off
Wannabe
debt,
dictator speaks at the White House
reducing
after having his
taxes still
political
further,
rival
which we were in
arrested.
the process of
What?
doing.
Is this
They want
real?
to distract from the real espionage and the
No,
real
I don't think
crime,
that's
so let's
real.
use President Trump to do so. Let's go out and let's indict President Trump so they don't talk about the $5 million bribe. Just yesterday, Senator Grassley revealed that the Burisma executive who allegedly paid the bribe reportedly has Crooked Joe on tape. They have 17 tapes, I understand. He must be a nice guy to deal with, right? The guy from Burisma, nice company. They got him and Hunter on 17 different tapes, supposedly. But the FBI isn't showing them. Remember, they impeached me for asking a simple question about Biden's corrupt dealings in Ukraine, and now they see that once again I was right. I was right. I was totally right. Joe Biden and the radical left can take foreign bribes and be totally protected. Republicans all, you must finally get tough. You've got to get tough. You got to get tough, and you got to show them. When you arrest your leading political opponent, we no longer have a democracy. When people are allowed to pour through our open borders and our elections are rigged, our country is in very serious trouble. When inflation is allowed to rage, when energy independence and dominance, we had independence and dominance. We were going to be soon very, very dominant. Within 6 months, we were going to dominate the whole world with energy, make a fortune. We were going to be paying off debt and lowering taxes at a level that nobody's ever seen, and they came in and they ended it. But when that's taken away from us, when interest rates and taxes spiral upward in an uncontrolled way, when murderers are allowed to roam, murderers, these are horrible killers, murderers are allowed to roam the streets of our Democrat-run cities unchecked, but the incompetent district attorney in New York indicts Trump for a crime that everybody agrees, every pundit, everybody, there is no crime. But murderers go out and nobody ever even comes and knocks on their door, and they know they're there, and they know their
Murder is
rooms,
legal,
and they know
folks.
their locations, and they're roaming our cities all over. And some of them are coming in right now through our borders. But then you have a nation that, as we are, is in serious, serious decline. We have a nation in serious decline. If the communists get away with this, it won't stop with me. They will not hesitate to ramp up their persecution of Christians, pro-life activists, parents attending school board meetings.
They're coming
and even
after me
future
because they
Republican
want to come
candidates,
after you,
which
but
they
I'm in
do.
the way. That's why they're coming
We must
after me
end it
narrative.
permanently, and we must end it immediately. Now that the seal
Yeah, he's. They
so
want to
important
execute Christ
is broken, the
cucks.
seal is
They want to
broken.
kill
For what
all the
they've done,
Christ
they
cucks,
should never have
folks.
done this.
That's what they're saying
So
behind
the
closed
unwritten rule,
doors.
You just don't. Unless it's
They want to
real.
behead Christ cucks,
But you just
folks.
don't.
They
But the
told
seal
me.
is now broken. In addition to closing the border and removing all of the criminal elements that have illegally invaded our country, making America energy independent and even dominant again, and immediately ending the war between Russia and Ukraine, I'll have it ended in 24 hours.
This is real couch
I
guy
will appoint
energy.
a real
He's
special
like, yeah, I'll end it in
prosecutor
24
to
hours.
go after the most corrupt president in the history of the United States of America, Joe Biden, and the entire Biden crime family. Name a special prosecutor. And all others involved with the destruction of our elections, our borders, and our country itself. They're destroying our country. And when I'm reelected, and we will get reelected, we have no choice. We're not going to have a country anymore. I will totally obliterate the deep state. We will obliterate the deep state. And we know who they are. I know exactly who they are.
PBS
They
NewsHour
want to take away
contact.
my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. It's very simple.
Told you. They want to come
They
after
want to
you. I'm in
silence
the
me
way.
because I will
It's a
never
meme
let
that he's
them
repeating that he read.
silence you. They want you silent. And I am the only one that can save this nation because you know they're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way, and I will never be moving. On November 5th, 2024, justice will be done. We will take back our country, and we will make America great again. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great job. Thank you.
Double dick suck, baby. There it is. Okay. I love that. Didn't I fucking tell you he was going to say, they're coming after you. I'm just standing in the way. I fucking told you, dude. Oh, God. We're so back. That was fire. That was fucking awesome. He had the slight jabs, the random jabs for no particular reason. Bro, that sucked. That was minimal energy. Nope, that wasn't. No, that wasn't. That wasn't minimal energy. He had all the right jabs. Okay. Like when he was talking about Washington Post, talking about how it's like a failure, shut on Hillary Clinton, fucking added in like his own personal anecdotes about how much he likes Bill Clinton, talked about how he didn't fucking think that attacking the prosecutor's family with a live criminal court case is a bold move. Oh, I was expecting nothing less from Donald Trump. I was going to say, he didn't just attack the prosecutor, he attacked the prosecutor's wife. He said the prosecutor who's coming after him, his wife made a Michelle Obama documentary. Okay? I mean, it's fire. He's just, that was awesome. Also, one thing I have to mention is he did not even like any kind of addressal on why he did the things he did, which I want to know personally, was immediately dismissed by, well, you know, I was actually going to give them back in a timely manner, but I didn't even have to addressment. That's not a word. Addressment, whatever. Shut the fuck up. I don't care. I'm excited. Suck my dick. He did not in any way, shape, or form address you fucking nerds. You guys suck. Okay, this is why you don't appreciate Donald Trump like I do. Okay, because you're like, I'm an English major. Have fun having no job. Okay, fucking English majors. God damn it. Anyway, as I was saying, learn a different language, okay? I am ESL. Suck my ESL cock. Anyway, have fun with that. That is my addressal. So, where was I? When the part that came up where he was supposed to talk about why he did the things he did, he basically said, I was going to give it back. I didn't have to, but I was going to give it back. And then which is like an insane take. I mean, you didn't do that. That's why there's a fucking criminal investigation. That's why you're going to court. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, yeah, I was going to give it back, but, on my time frame, but I didn't have to. No, you did, and you didn't give it back. You tried to hide it.